What's up, everybody? It's your favorite wealthy auntie, Monét. Welcome to another episode of the People Pleaser podcast. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that rocked with me in the last video. Y'all are buying the t-shirts. I am here for it. Thank you so much for the support. So if you haven't checked out Big Daddy Boaz, make sure you do that today. I'm going to leave the link below so it's easier for you to find. But today we are talking about Isaac and Rebecca, okay? Now, if you've read my book, Situationship Guru, you already know that I don't like people named Isaac. You just off rip, you already know. So this was very, very hard for me to even discuss. So just be thankful that I could even get through it, because I was like, whole time Isaac on my nerves, all right? And then this Isaac was on some bull too. It's like, is everybody named Isaac have a problem? Like, what is going on? But we'll get into that a little bit later. So Abraham is Isaac's dad, and back in the olden days they had arranged marriages, so the parents would set their children up to be married. So Abraham was like, bruh, I'm getting old. I can't go out here and find a wife for my son Isaac. I'll have my servant do it, because that's what rich people do. You have your servant go handle your lightweight. So he's like, servant, come here. I need you to go back to my hometown, and I need you to find a wife for my son. Servant's like, I got you, bro. You've been nothing but good for me. I got you. So the servant goes down to the hometown. He sees a bunch of chicks running around. He's like, they all look good to me. Like, just round one of them up. He's like, hey, no, I want to get this right. Abraham has been good to me. I love this family. Let me find him the right wife. So he prays about it. He's like, all right, God, all these people look good to me. I need you to show me the right one. Now, this is a gem right here. How many times have you went to the mall, you went out to eat, you went to a sports event, you did something and you saw somebody that looked good, and then you look over here, you see somebody look good over there too, and you like, oh, like all these people look good. Like, I am in abundance. Like, this is great. Like, just hand me one of them. No, he was like, there's too many to choose from. I'm gonna ask God for specific instruction on which one is for me. A lot of us, pointing me, a lot of us need to do this because we pick the wrong ones all the time. So anyway, he sits down, he's like, God, I need your help with this. I need you to show me which one is right. So he's like, all right, I'm sitting here by the well because this is where all the hotties is at. All the cuties are coming over to the well drawing water. So I feel like whoever offers me a drink and then offers the camel some drinks too, that's gonna be the one. Before he can even finish praying, this is how dope God is. Before he even finished his prayer, Rebecca walks up and he's like, you know, can I get a drink of water? She's like, sure. She hands him the jug. He gets his little gulp on it. She's like, you know what? Yo, camel looking a little dry about the mouth. Let me go get them some water too. So she gets them some water. He over in the corner like, it's her. So she comes back, she feeds the camel, she gives him a drink of water, and he's like, let me holler at you real quick. He's like, are you married? She's like, no, but I'm of age. Like, she's letting him know, like, I can be chosen, okay? If you trying to choose, I can be chosen. So he's like, well, let me put this ring in your nose real quick. Let me give you a couple of bracelets or whatever. He's like, and there's more where that came from. My master is rich, and he'd given all his inheritance to his son. So this is how they get you. He's running off at the mouth. So he's asking her, like, where are you from? Who are your parents? Let's go see them right now. I'm trying to arrange this marriage. And as he's on the way talking to her, he's telling them about, oh, I got this gold, we got silver, we got donkeys, we got camel, all of these different things. He's telling her all the good things, just racking it on up, just listening it down. And doesn't that sound like the beginning of the relationships? In the beginning of the relationship, they tell you all of these good things. You're like, you know what, the other day I had to rescue like 12 babies and a puppy from a burning building. You like, for real? You all heroic and stuff? And he's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, but it made me late to Bible study, but you know, God gonna forgive me because I was doing his work. You know, the other day I bought a Tesla, right? Bought it cash, we debt free out here. They just be telling you all the good stuff, right? And then they fail to mention all the extra stuff, like, yeah, when I get mad, I throw things. I might ghost you after I sleep with you. I got mommy and daddy and family issues, generational curses. I don't really do relationships for real, but I'm gonna act like I do in the beginning so I can get close to you. Then I'm gonna leave. They don't say all of that stuff. They list all of the good stuff, and you're just sitting there feeling like, just loving it, right? Just taking it all in. And then they don't tell you all the bad stuff. So the servant is doing the same thing to Rebecca. He's talking about gold, silver, camel, donkeys, all of this stuff, all of their land, but he fails to mention that Isaac's mom, Sarah, just passed away, and he's grieving. He also fails to mention that there's a little disconnect between him and his dad because his dad tried to kill him. Like Abraham tried to kill Isaac. He failed to mention that part. Like there's a gap there. They not as cool as they used to be, but he don't say none of that. He tells her all the good stuff, just like people do at the beginning of their relationships. So they finally get to the house and the servant starts talking to the family. He's shopping it up with them. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to take Rachel off your hands. I have an eligible bachelor for her to marry. He's running down the list of all the good things. And he's like, you know, let me tell you how I knew she was the one. So he goes back and he tells them about the conversation that he had with God, saying, you know, I was at the well. I said, let her give me a drink and give the camels a drink too. And then as soon as I said my prayer, here come Rebecca walking up and she did exactly what I prayed for. So, you know, what you think? Y'all gonna let her come with me or not? Y'all gonna let her marry my master's son or not? This is the dopest part of the whole story, and this is something that we all need to adopt. Rebecca's family was like, basically, what you asking us for? If you prayed and you asked God for it and he gave you your answer, then we don't have nothing to do with that. You better take her. We're not trying to get in the middle of what God already said. We need to adopt that. I like to say we because I like to feel like we're a community. This is me. I'm talking to me. I need to adopt that. When God tells me to do something, I need to do it right then and there. I don't know how many times God told me to write my book, Situationship Guru. He told me to write it so many times, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. First of all, kissing and telling is whack. Like, who? No. Why would I want to do that? Second of all, I don't care about none of these people. Why am I about to write a whole book about them? Like, no, I don't want any of that. Plus, I don't want people in my business. Like, I'm trying to get married, and I want it to be fake. Like, you know how when you, like you said, when you start a relationship, you want to show all the good stuff. I wanted to act like I was a good girl. I didn't want them to know all my business, how I was out in the streets and doing all this extra stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to tell them this. I want to kind of keep that as a secret and then just get married and just be like, everything is okay. God was like, no, snitch on yourself. And I tried my hardest so many times not to do it, but he got me. Here's another thing. It's so funny because we'll lead with that. Like, we'll give God our yes. Like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, it's whatever you say, God, that's what we'll do. Then we'll try to back up and say some other stuff. So they said in the beginning, like, oh, if God said it, then go ahead. Then they're like, well, wait, can we have 10 days with her? Like, can she just stay here for a little while? He's like, nah, like, I got stuff to do. My servant told me to come get a wife. I found a wife. Y'all hold me up. And a lot of times we hold God up because we trying to do all this extra stuff. Just do what he say. Just do what he say. But so anyway, they's like, well, let's bring Rebecca in and let her decide. Now, Rebecca, a real one, she was like, I'll go. Let's go. We married now. Like, let's go. So she get on her little camel. She bring her maid servant with her. They just, you know, tropping along, going to the thing, like on the camel. Right? They in the field. Isaac in the field, glistening. He got his shirt off, 6-pack. He got like a big, I don't know what he carrying, but he's showing off his strength. Rebecca like, who that is? Like, who that over there? Who that walking in the field? The servant like, I told you, bruh. So she like, well, let me put on my little outfit. She put on her veil. She like, talking to her maid servant like, what you think, girl? Cute. Like, she's ready, okay? She hop up off that camel. She like, hey, Zaddy. And he's like, what's up? And she's like, I'm here for you, you know, like, little veil, cover me up. I'm the wifey now. So they get straight to it, okay? It's like, you're my wife. We're gonna go do some married things, okay? So fast forward, Abraham dies, and it's kind of crazy because like in the Bible, when Sarah dies, when Isaac's mother Sarah passes away, they kind of show that he's grieving, he's having a hard time. When Abraham died, this dude was like, rest in peace, my G. Like, it does not say too much about him mourning or anything, but once again, I told you, Abraham tried to kill this dude, so he feels like, bruh, I don't know. I mean, I know we're supposed to forgive, but you tried to off me. Like, what is going on with you? So it doesn't say too much about that. It skips to him and his wife trying to have a baby. They're trying to have a child for 20 years. It's just not working at all. So Isaac does the manly thing, and he goes and he asks God, like, bruh, like, we see me and my wife trying to get pregnant. Like, what's good? Can you bless us? Like, what's happening here? God hears the prayer. He allows Rebecca to get pregnant. Rebecca's like, okay, God, now I've never been pregnant before, but I'm not sure it's supposed to feel like this. Like, what is going on? I don't think this is a regular pregnancy. Like, what is happening? So she goes and spends some quiet time with God. She's like, what is happening? He's like, oh yeah, I have forgot to tell you that you got like twins and they don't like each other. They've been warring against each other and it's always gonna be something between them. They just don't really get along for real. She like, so I've been asking you for children for 20 years and you decide to give me 2 Bebe's kids? Like, God's sense of humor and our sense of humor, sometimes they don't line up the way that we be wanting them to line up. Like, so when you ask God for something, make sure A, that you really want it, B, ask him to prepare you for whatever it is that he's about to give you, because sometimes the way he brings it to you and the way you saw him bring it to you are not the same, right? So she has these 2 children, and just like I said, they are warring against each other. It's nation against nation from their very birth. Like, Esau is coming down the birth canal, and Jacob on his heel, like, what you doing, brother? Get back in here. And he's like, bro, get off. Can I even be born? Like, can I be born in peace? Like, why are you on me? Get off of me. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I love my sister now, but when we were younger, whoo, Chad, I was like, you gotta go. I really have my little Minnie Mouse suitcase, like, it's gonna be her or me, because we both can't be up in here, because what is happening? Why is she like this? Like, have you ever looked at your sibling and been like, why are you like this? Like, seriously, let's talk about it. Like, why are you like this? That's how I feel like Esau wanted to do Jacob. Like, bro, why you on my heel? I'm just trying to be born. Like, for real, get off me. Like, for real, get off me. So Jacob is playing around like he always do on these games, on his heels. They grow up a little bit. Jacob is like a homebody. He's home cooking and cleaning and doing all that stuff. Esau is a manly man. He outside, he in the field, he hunting down people, killing goats, doing all this stuff. He's an outdoors man. So one day, Esau's out hunting, doing what he do. Jacob in the house cooking, cleaning. He making this stew, right? It smells super, super good. He come in like, oh man, like, can I get some of that stew, Jacob? Like, you want to trade me for your birthright? Esau's like, what you talking about a birthright, bro? I'm hungry. Like, stop playing with me. He was like, trade me first. I can eat some of the soup. So Esau, like a dummy, gives him his birthright. He eats the soup. He goes on about his business. Now, I was super upset with Esau. Like, how you just gonna trade your birthright for some stew? Like, was it really that good? Like, I just really don't understand how you just gonna sell out for some food. And then God humbled me very quickly, like he always does. And he reminded me of a time when I was in college and I used to go out on dates for free food. I am not ashamed nor proud of it. It's just what happened. Life is tough. God wanted to take you for some food off campus, and I was like, let's go, knowing that I had no interest in them. Free food? Yeah. Can my homegirl come to? One time, she's gonna kill me. One time, me and my homegirl went on a double date with this dude that we just had. It wasn't even a double date. It was a threesome date. Honestly, it was just the 2 of us and him. Because he was gonna take us for some food on campus. We know we didn't like him. We know we weren't trying to do nothing with him. We knew it was gonna go no further than dinner, but we was like, we going off campus food? Yeah, let's go. You picking us up? Let's go. So after I remembered that, or after God brought that to my attention, I was like, I should probably stop talking about Esau. Sometimes you do stupid stuff for food. I feel you, bro. So he's tricking for his birthright. So then it comes to a part where there is a famine. There's always a famine in the Bible. There's always like a food shortage. So Isaac takes his family to a city and they're trying to get some food and stuff and stay there, but he don't know these people for real. Like, he was the man where he used to live, because like I said before, Abraham had hooked him up. He had silver, gold, camel, donkey, all the herds, all the land, all the stuff. Like, he was the man where he was from, but now he going to a neighboring city and he don't really know these people. And he's like, okay, so he walks up on the king. He got his wife Rebecca with him, and the king like, yo, homie, who that? She look kind of good. This man says, it's my sister. Did I already tell y'all I don't like people named Isaac? So I feel like this is where the transition happens, because Rebecca up until this point was like such a good girl. She left her family to come be with Isaac. She's been having these kids that are running her crazy, but she's still loving them and taking care of them. She's taking care of Isaac in his old age. And then he tells everybody that she his sister. Ladies, listen. If you are dating a man and behind closed doors, you're this, that, and you're his boo, okay? But then when you get in front of people, you want to start acting funny? Baby, okay? Now, I'm gonna... I feel like Rebecca's a little bit petty like me. I'm gonna get to the rest of the story and show you how she started being petty. But before I do that, let me tell you about a time when somebody tried to act like I wasn't who I was out in public. Now, this is just story time. I go to it in more detail in my book, Situationship Guru. But don't be like me. Please don't be like me, because I'm just not right. Like, I just, when I look back at some of the stuff I do, I'll be like, why'd you do that? That was probably not for the best. But sometimes people be having you messed up and you gotta let them know they got you messed up. So there's this guy I was like super in love with. Well, thought I was super in love with him. Turned out I didn't really like this dude for real, but whatever. Super into him. We're like always at the house, just hugged up, kissed up, just everything. Like, this is my boo. There's nobody that can tell me that this is not my boo. I love him. He loves me. We're all together. Everything's great. One day we're on campus and I'm kind of with my friends and I see him walking up. Now I have a big smile on my face because baby's walking up. Like, my boo is walking up and I'm excited because I'm thinking that we're going to greet each other the way that we greet each other at the house. Like, big hug, big kiss, like smoochy smoochy, like whisper in the ear, like all of this stuff. You know, this man hit me with the oh, I almost just jumped out of my body right there. Like, it still bothers me. You did not just head nod me in front of all these people. You didn't do that to me. Not to me, because I'm your boo. I sat there for a while because it took me a while to understand what just happened. In my mind, I'm like, he did not just head nod me and walk past. Like, he didn't even stop. Like, even sometimes when you don't even like people, you still might dap him up or give him that one arm hug. He had none of that for me. He gave me the what's up and kept it moving. Have y'all ever heard this song to go like, if you don't give it, we don't give it. Hey, if you don't give it, we don't give it. That song was written about me. Because if you're gonna walk past and do a head nod as if you don't see me, it's gonna be a problem for you. So I let him have that because, first of all, he had to get away with that because I was still in shock. Like, what just happened? I don't understand. So a couple of days down the road, we go to a house party. I find another dude. And I'm all up in his face. All those kissy, kissy, huggy, huggy, talky, talky, whatever that we're used to doing, I used to do with him, I'm doing with the other dude in front of him. And he's in my peripheral and I'm hitting with the, as I'm kissing and hugging on the other dude. I sure did because if you don't give up, I don't give up. Why would you do that to me? Why would you make the crazy come out? Like, it was inside, it was hibernating, but then you brought it out. So, like I said, do not be like me. I am petty. I, once again, not ashamed nor proud. It's just what happened, but don't do that. If you are with a man and he does not acknowledge you the way he's supposed to acknowledge you in public, just leave. That's not the man for you. That's what I should have did. When he did the head nod to me, I should have just realized this dude don't like you for real. It's not gonna go nowhere. Just let it go, sis. But no, I'm too petty for that. I'm too petty, or I was too petty for that. I don't know how I act right now because I don't really be doing all that stuff. But back then, oh, you wanna play? Let's go. Let's go. I'm here for it. Don't do that though. It's not smart, and it doesn't get you anywhere. It got me exactly what I thought I wanted, which was to be with him, and I realized it sucked. Like, I could have done so much better if I would have just left him alone. But anyway, so back to Rebecca. Can you imagine being somebody's wife and you just hear him right in front of you like, oh, this is my sister? Can you imagine the trauma she's going through? But then she can't say nothing because Rebecca was a people pleaser. She was. She was the one that was giving him the water, and she was the one that was feeding the camels too. She was the one that was like, oh, you know, your servant needs a wife, I'll go do that. She was always the helpful one. She was always the one that was putting others before her. And now when you have a chance to protect her, you say she your sister? So I feel like in the back of her mind, she like, okay, I'm gonna remember that. That's when she transferred from Rebecca to Becky. I feel like there was a transition that happened. She didn't announce it, but she was like, oh, Becky got something for you, because what you're not gonna do is play me like I'm a side chick. I'm your sister, for real, for real. So anyway, the king one day sees Isaac rubbing up on Becky, like he like, that ain't your sister, that's your wife, why didn't you tell us? And Isaac like, oh, I thought y'all was gonna try to take her from me and y'all would kill me to get to her. And he's like, bruh, forget all that, like that's your wife, like why would you even do that? Now here's the thing that really made me mad. Well, I'm gonna say that really made me mad because a lot of it made me upset, but God told him like, all right, there's a famine, you're gonna go to this city, but I'm gonna take care of you. When God says, I got you, I'm gonna be with you, he means that. He's not like these other dudes. Like other dudes will be like, oh, so into you in the beginning. Every morning they'll be like, good morning, beautiful. And then that good morning, beautiful turns into, what's up? Or, oh, I wanna see you turns into, what you doing? And that's it, you know, like, oh, I can't stop thinking about you turns into ghosting, okay? That's how dudes treat you. God is not like that at all. When he say he got you, he got you. Every morning he wants to talk to you. Every morning he's saying, good morning, beautiful. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Every afternoon he's saying, I got plans for you. You know, you've been on my mind today. Every night he's saying, you know, I'll die for you, right? And did. Like, this is what gets on my nerves. So Isaac, God told you he was going to be with you. So you didn't have to lie to these people. God was going to be with you. You could have told him like, this is my wife and what? God got us. Like, he can't do nothing to you or her, but you over here being a little punk. Talk about this my sister. Now you done messed up your relationship. God side-eyeing you like, didn't I say I was going to be with you? You just all messed up, Isaac. Don't like this, bruh. Oh, he on my nerves, y'all. He's on my nerves. So, like I said, Rebecca is now Becky, and she's on some bull because she's like, you don't protect me, you don't love me for real. It's obvious I have to fend for myself, and I will do that. So a few more years pass. Isaac is old and blind as a bat, okay? He is not doing well, so he's like, all right, I need to, just like Abraham set him up for his future before he was about to die, Isaac's like, okay, I gotta set my boys up too. But here's the thing, he didn't say boys, he has a favorite. Esau was Isaac's favorite, and Jacob is Becky's favorite. So Isaac takes Esau aside and he's like, look, go out there, get me some food, come in, I'm gonna give you a blessing before I die. Now, Becky is eavesdropping, and here's the thing, at first I was upset at her, like, sis, why you in their business? Like, why don't people just mind their business no more? But then I thought about it, like, she has to pay attention to what this dude says because she doesn't know if he's going to protect her. He could have been like telling Esau to go kill her or something. She don't know, she don't trust him. After he told everybody that she was his sister, the trust went down the window. So she always got to keep another eye on this dude because she don't know what he gonna do. So she listening in the corner like, okay, you trying to give Esau the blessing. But remember, Jacob is her favorite. So she called Jacob like, come here. She's like, your brother out there hunting. I need you to go to get 2 goats. I'm gonna cook it for you. I need you to go put on some of Esau's clothes or whatever because we want the blessing to go to you. Like, because I know that if he blesses you, you're gonna bless me. Esau might not bless me after he gets his blessing. So Jacob is like, yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work, you know, mom, he's gonna curse me. And she's like, no, if he does find out, let the curse fall on me. I got you, son. So she cooks up the food, she puts Jacob in Esau's clothes, and then she sends him in there to her husband. Now, here's the thing that makes me upset about Isaac again, but I'm glad that he's slow on this because it gives us a couple of relationship tips that we need to hit on. So the first thing is Jacob walks in, he's like, what's up, Pops? I got the food for you. Isaac is like, who are you? Are you Jacob? Like, you don't sound like Esau. Ladies, this is where we messed up. The sound. We know when something doesn't sound right. When we're talking to a dude and he says something, there's always like a little pause. We hear those red flags. We try to act like we don't hear them. We try to act like we don't see them. But we know when somebody is saying something a little suspect. But because he cute, because he got this, that, and the other, we try to ignore it. But that's what gets us messed up. And the same thing happened with Isaac. He's like, you don't sound like my son Esau. He's like, nah, I'm him. Da-da-da-da. Okay. So then as the story goes on, he's like, come here, give me a kiss. Because he's trying to get close enough to smell him. Ladies, I don't know about y'all, but a good smelling man, woo, Jesus, will have me messed up every single time. But you know what I hate? I hate when somebody that you're not attracted to smells super good, because now you're conflicted. Like, you're trying to, like, the aroma is pulling you in, but you're still like, not sure I want to be pulled in, but I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Like, don't wear that type of cologne around me. Got me here sniffing the side of your neck when I'm supposed to be focused. Don't do that to me. So Isaac brings him in and he smells like Esau. So he's like, That's another one. You like the way a dude smells, or you like the certain things that he's throwing out you, like the physical stuff. And you're thinking that it's all good, and it's like, it's not. You know that this man is not the right one for you, but you're letting all of these outside forces convince you that he is, and that's where we get messed up all the time. So the sound is off, the smell is, distracting, and then he's like, well, let me touch you. I'm not gonna get too deep into this, but y'all know where I'm going. That touch will get you every single time. Don't let these people touch on you. I'm telling y'all, when you start feeling certain things and you start letting them feel certain things, all of the logic goes out of the window. And that's not what you want. You want the logic to remain intact. There's been so many times when I've met a guy and I've just been like, I know this one is not right for me. I absolutely know, like, stuff he's saying is wrong. He's just some of the outside, the math ain't mathing. But then you get them feelings and you start doing stuff and you be like, well, maybe I can just, maybe it's not that bad. You always try to trick yourself into it with that maybe. Maybe it's not this, maybe I can get past it. And then what happens at the end? Maybes turn into should not have done that at all, okay? Just like in this story. So Isaac eats the food, he gives Jacob the blessing. What Jacob do as soon as he get the blessing? He runs, just like dudes do. As soon as they get the blessing, they run. Well, not all of them, but y'all been in relationships where it's like, this dude is no good. He's not saying the right things. Something is a little off, but you give it up anyway. And then what happens? He leaves. He ghosts you. And now you in your feelings acting like you don't know why you got ghosted. When you know all the signs was there, you just kept, hopscotching around them, and then now you got an attitude. No. So same thing. Isaac gives him the blessing. Jacob leaves. Now, where was Esau all this time? He was out there doing what he was supposed to do. He was killing the food. He was preparing a meal for his father. He come in. Now Isaac all shook up like we be shook. Like, what happened? Who are you? I just gave the blessing to this person. Isaac, stop playing with me. You knew that was Jacob as soon as he walked in. You even said, are you Jacob? Like, don't do that. Why we act surprised when we get played, when we know we saw the signs? Like, why we do that? Okay, not we. Why I do that? Why act like I ain't know? Why all them chapters in my book, I'm like, I don't know how I got played. I don't understand what. Ma'am, you knew. Stop playing with yourself, because nobody's convinced, okay? You knew what was going on. Just like that, Isaac's all confused, and he's like, oh, I already gave the blessing away. So now Esau is pissed. He like, Jacob, as soon as daddy die, you dying with him. We gonna get a 2-for-1 funeral off this mug, because I'm sick of you. You done touched my heel when I was trying to be born. You done stole my birthright. Now you done stole my blessing. Oh, I'm killing you, bruh. Now Becky is going into fix-it mode. She's like, Jacob, your brother's a little upset. Rightfully so. I want you to go to my hometown and hide out for a little bit until he calms down a little bit or whatever, because I don't want to lose both of my sons and my husband. Well, I don't really care about my husband. Like, I can lose him, but I don't want to lose both of my sons. Go hide out for a little bit until Esau calms down. So Jacob goes to Becky's hometown and he lives with her brother Laban. So Jacob goes there. He meets this girl named Rachel, which is his cousin, which is, Yeah, the olden days was crazy. But he falls in love with her and he's like, look, I'll work 7 years so you give me her as your wife. Now, this was the first time that I started like really fooling with Jacob, because all the other times he been real suspect. But as soon as he said he was gonna work for his wife, like, okay, I see you trying to put in effort. Like, ladies, make these dudes put in effort for you, okay? That's the first time I fooled with Jacob. Like, okay, I see you, homie. So he's like, I'll work for 7 years for her. Like, that's my boo. I love her. I'll work for her. 7 years. 7 years comes up. Laban gets Jacob drunk and gives him the cockeyed daughter, Leah. Like, well, wait a minute now. This is not what I signed up for. So that night, everything was good. Jacob didn't know the difference. He's just chilling, which I have several questions about how he did not know the difference. We don't have time to get into that today. But he does all of these different things. And he wakes up in the morning, he's like, no, wait a minute, you not who I bought. So he goes up to Laban like, where my wife at? Like, I work for Rachel. You gave me this cockeyed hoe. Like, what kind of stuff is this? So Laban's like, it's not really our custom to give you the younger one before we give you the older ones. You can have Rachel as well, but you got to work for me 7 more years. How you feel about that? Now, Jacob was like, bruh, Rachel cold. When I tell you she's that deal, like, I'll work however long for her as you want me to. Like, I gotta have her. So now Jacob has 2 wives. These are the original sister wives, okay? And they're going back and forth and arguing about this man. Ladies, don't ever fight over a dude. Just don't even, it just makes me mad. This whole story, like I said, I'm definitely gonna have to get into part 2, because now as I'm thinking about it, there's just so many different things that I need to talk about. But before we get into that, let me just recap this video, all the lessons that we should have learned here. We're talking about Isaac and Rebecca's relationship. So let me run down the points that we went through in this video. So number 1, when the servant came through, he was talking about all the good things that he had. He was running down this list of positives, but he neglected to mention anything that was going wrong. So ladies, when you're dating these men, I don't care how impressive they are, make sure you get down to the nitty-gritty. Now, I'm not saying be an investigator and to be the FBI as soon as you meet them, but before you get too attached, I need you to ask some questions and try to see their character, because they're going to tell you the good stuff. They're going to offer that up to you willingly. But all that bad stuff, you might have to kind of pull it out of them. So you need to see what you're really dealing with, because people change, or people are not who they say they are sometimes. So you need to be careful. Another thing we need to learn from the servant is he saw a couple of options. He was like, she look good, she look good, she look good over there too. So he stopped and asked God, like, look, which one is which? Who is supposed to be for me? We need to do that too, because there's a lot of people in our DMs. There's a lot of people rolling up on us at work, at the grocery store, at the gas station. Whenever we go out to dinner with our friends, there's always somebody in our face. And yeah, the attention is nice at the beginning, but you don't want to end up with the wrong person. You do not want to end up with somebody that is not who God wants you to be with. So you need to ask those questions. God, is this him? All right, scoop him to the side. What about this one? Nope, that ain't him either. You gotta go and get rid of him quick, because once again, don't be like me. I be kind of prolonging it, like, maybe you change your mind. He won't, and he won't. He will not change his mind, and you will go through hell if you don't pay attention to the signs and pay attention to God, what he tells you to do, okay? Another things we want to talk about is, you know, if on the inside you his boo and you this and that, the other, and you baby this and baby that, but then when y'all get out in public, he want to act like y'all just friends, or y'all just talking, y'all just kicking it. That ain't the one for you. You need somebody that's gonna be happy to claim you, okay? Like, don't you, we're not doing this. We're not doing this today, okay? And then just a quick recap of Isaac being fooled by Jacob. Ladies, we're not fooled. You know when something sounds off, you know when something smells off, you know when something feels off. Don't be distracted. All of that stuff was distractions, okay? He came in, he sounded like Jacob because he was Jacob. If somebody sounds like they are a playboy, they're a playboy. If they sound like they're a cheater or a ghoster or a manipulator or a narcissist or whatever it may be, a time waster, they probably are those things. And you got to be careful. Don't let all the other flashy, don't let the smell good, don't let the feel good, don't let any of that stuff distract you. Stay focused, sis, okay? Because these people are out here trying to get your heart. And the longer that you give your heart to the wrong one, the harder it will be for you to give it get to the right one. When the right one comes around, you're gonna be tired. Like, look, I done been through this, and that, and the other. I'm not really trying to do it no more. I don't want to. It's been real, it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. I don't want to do it no more. Don't do that. Protect your heart, sis. Protect your heart, protect your peace, protect yourself, because some of these dudes ain't gonna do it for you, okay? Pay attention. So I really appreciate y'all sticking with me and letting me get through my Bible story today. I'll have another one for you coming soon, so make sure that you are subscribed, make sure that you like this video and share it with a friend, and I'll see you next time.